Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk more about the Mego figures from the 1970s, and I'm going to show you some more examples of some from my collection. First, one that I think is one of the more unusual ones from the 70s. I mean, people when they think of Mego, they certainly think of the world's greatest excuse me, world's greatest superheroes, and they think of Star Trek and probably several others that you could name, because Mego did so many different figures in the 70s. I mean, it was just, to me, the coolest line of toys that I could have imagined at that time. So, one that I want to point out is from the Waltons. Now, I wasn't a big Waltons fan. It was okay. But the fact that there are some Waltons figures, I kind of always like unusual things like that. So here is one set that they did. And as you see here, it's John Boy and Ellen, some of the kids in the family. And these two are in the box. I mean, it's not like they've never been out. They have been out. Also, there was a play set that you could get, which I think would have been really cool, of the Walton house that you see here in this picture. And let's see what it says. The Walton farmhouse. This play case has furniture and everything a child needs to keep up the housekeeping for the Walton figures. Glossy plastic surfaces and easy folding for travel and storage. So, I've never seen one in person, I don't believe, so I don't know if the quality was great, but it looks pretty good. And they also had the Walton's truck available, so that's interesting, I think. And then they had, that I'm aware of, 3 sets of figures, and they're pictured here. Of course, you got the 2 that I showed you already with John Boy and Ellen, but also the parents are in here and the grandparents. Now I have the parents, although here's the father, by the way, the Walton father. See his face here. These are, all these dolls like this, or figures like this from the 70s are fragile, and sometimes they just break the minute you touch them, it seems like. I've had one do that recently where I picked it up and the leg fell off. I'll show you that in a little bit. This is the mother right here from the Waltons. Although in a way she reminds me of the grandmother, so I don't know. But I've seen the grandmother, and she does look different than that. By the way, just to show you these 2 out of the box, John Boy and Mary Ellen, or not Mary Ellen, Ellen. Here she is, and her hair's kind of messed up, but it's in her face. Let's see if I can get it out of her face. So here she is in this very country looking dress, so it fits her, or it's fitting for her. And then this is John Boy himself. His collar's kind of sticking up there. He's got that birthmark. I think his hair is a little weirdly colored for John Boy, but the likeness is okay. I think Mego did a good job with likenesses. Oh, and he's got this little hat too, which I don't know exactly if it fits, so I'm not going to try to put it on right now. But anyway, Mego did some great likenesses of people at times. I'm not sure that's the best example, but it's okay. Then, let's see, here's the one I was talking about where I picked it up and the leg was broken. This is Fonzie from Happy Days, and he was also done in that time period in the 70s. This may or may not be his, I don't think this is his outfit, but I could be wrong. Obviously there was a leather jacket, or a fake leather jacket, involved. And he's got the one foot, and the other one is still in the other room where it broke, and I put it to the side, so maybe I'm going to see if I can fix it. But the pin came out, and therefore the leg came off. I mean, it's a plastic pin that they're held by. I thought this one was a pretty good likeness of Fonzie or Henry Winkler. So there's that one. And then I've got Starsky and Hutch. That's another one that was kind of unusual that they did. I think that, this was an ABC show, and I'm not sure about the Waltons, but they did what was popular and what people would buy. So you've got Starsky and Hutch. If I can get them on screen, here they are, and both happen to be wearing yellow shirts. Again, I don't know if I'd have to look to see if this is their original outfits or not. I have a book that lists all the Mego toys that were ever made while they were around. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you know that right now there's companies like Figures Toy Company and M-Key that have done some of the ones that you see that are replicas of. They haven't done these yet, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they do them. But they're doing a lot of different figures from Mego over the years, including, of course, superheroes. And I'm glad to see that they're doing some that have never been done, because why just do the ones that have already been done? I like seeing new ones as well. In fact, some of these that I have back here are from the retro figures that were done a few years ago, and they were done by Mattel, I believe. I'm blanking out right now, but I believe it was Mattel. And of course, over my shoulder, you see some of the Planet of the Apes ones that were done recently as well, in the last, I'd say, 5 years. Those, I believe, I can see it. I believe those are empty, but I'd have to check. Okay, and then let's see, that brings us to the Wizard of Oz. Now, on the last segment that I did on Migos, I showed, I believe, Dorothy and the Tin Man. So now I'm going to show some of the others. Here's Scarecrow. His little hat is missing, but they made him rather yellow. But other than that, he looks pretty good. He needs a little straw sticking out, I think, or maybe it's missing. They kind of did that here with the fringe in his, or near his hands. Sort of looks like straw. So that's the Scarecrow, and you can see the back. This outfit these are in pretty good condition. I try not to bend their legs too much because I'm always afraid they'll break. Here's the Wicked Witch herself. She is definitely wicked looking. She's not a pretty witch. Nobody prettied her up before they made this one. So here you see her. I think I have the broom in the other room, pretty sure. But this is the Wicked Witch. And she is in pretty good shape. I think these were from like 1974, so you're talking many years ago. Here's the back. Hasn't been to Vidal Sassoon anytime recently. Okay. I have the Good Witch as well, Glinda the Good Witch, but she completely, that figure needs to be repaired. She has completely fallen apart. I mean, literally, the thing just came apart at the seams. Here is the Cowardly Lion, and he's got his long tail. And he's got his medal with the courage that was given to him. If you look closely at his face, I'm not sure how much it looks like Bert Lahr, but it's good. I think this is a really good sculpt. I mean, he sort of looks like Bert Lahr a little bit, I guess. And he's got his furry costume. I mean, this is basically the body shape for the Penguin and one or two others that were made. Same body shape. But it works. And speaking of which, here's one of the ones I was thinking of that the same body shape was used for. This is the Wizard. Definitely the Penguin's body shape or body mold. Here's the Wizard, and he looks quite a bit like the Wizard, I think. He's got a good likeness. The Wizard actually wasn't this short and squat, but it works. And here's his hat when you put his hat on. He's got a big old grin on his face. And Another one where, part of clothing is standing up that really shouldn't be. But for as old as they are, like I said, these are in really good condition. So these are just a few examples of other Mego figures that were made. So we had the Wizard of Oz and Starsky and Hutch, the Waltons, and one Fonzie doll. I don't have any other Happy Days ones. I know they made a few others at the time. And then, of course, somebody did, which, by the way, this has a thing in the back where he can go, hey, and do his famous thumbs up thing. So it still works after all these years. I think usually in the real TV show, he did one finger at a time usually, but this one does two. He's that special. So with that, I hope you have enjoyed to see some more examples of Mego toys from the 1970s. Take care, everybody.